Okay, so this happened like 30 years ago. I was maybe 13 or 14. Seriously, just thinking about this story makes my palms sweat. Back in school, I had this good friend, Ryan. Actually, he was my only friend. After school, we'd always go to his place to hang out. His house was smack dab in the middle of this huge field, which was cool because we had tons of room to play. To get there, you had to drive down this long driveway. But enough about that. Let me get to the freaky part. One night, it was around 8 p.m. I got into this massive fight with my parents. I was so mad I couldn't take it anymore. So I called Ryan's because I just needed to get out of there. He picked up and was surprised I was calling so late. We were just kids, you know? But when I told him what happened, he said I could come over. The thing was, he had football practice till 9, so I'd have to wait. I said okay, big mistake. It was nighttime, super dark. I don't usually mind the dark, but I never liked that road to his house. It was all wavy and it made me kinda carsick sometimes. But I was on my bike this time. But the really messed up part didn't happen on the road. It was when I got to the house. I parked my bike next to their empty garage, walked up to the front door and rang the bell. Seriously, the door opened right away, like the second I touched the button. It totally startled me. And then I saw her. It was his mom. I always liked her. She was nice, sweet, and always listened if I was bummed out. But something was totally wrong with her. Her eyes, that were usually bright, looked darker. Her hair wasn't in a bun like she always wore it. It was just hanging down. Before I could even figure out what was up, I saw something even creepier. She was smiling. She didn't say hi or anything, just kept smiling and looking right at me. I was getting really uncomfortable and asked if she was okay. She just said, "Come in and have some tea with me." Before I could say anything, she went back inside. That's when I noticed she was wearing her robe. I didn't want to be rude, and I sure didn't want to stay outside alone in the dark, so I went in and closed the door. I went to the kitchen and could hear her humming this weird tune. When I walked in, she stopped, and it got super quiet. I just sat down at the kitchen table without saying anything. She was standing there with her back to me. I didn't want to stare, so I looked around the room until the tea was ready. I started thinking. Ryan's mom was always warm and friendly, asking about school and my family and stuff. Now she was just quiet, not saying a thing. I sat there for like 5 minutes, just thinking, and then it hit me. She hadn't moved the whole time I was in the kitchen. Her back was to me and I could see her hands were just hanging there. Her head was tilted to the side. I was like, something's really wrong. So I got up and walked behind her. I made a bunch of noise, but she didn't even flinch. I moved to her right to see her face, to see if she was okay. And what I saw, I still can't forget it. Her eyes were wide open and she was smiling. I was so freaked out that I decided to head home. I said I better go, I have a ton of homework, which was a lie. She didn't say anything, so I went to the front door and out onto the porch. I wasn't really scared, just a little, but mostly I was just completely weirded out. As I walked off the porch to my bike, I saw 2 lights way down the road. A car. Finally, I thought. Ryan was like 10 minutes late, but as the car got closer, I started wondering who was driving him back from football. His dad was out of town on business for 2 weeks. Ryan couldn't drive yet, so who else could it be? I was getting really nervous as the car drove up. Who was driving? The car pulled into the garage and stopped. Ryan jumped out first, saying, "Hey, what's up?" But then his mom got out of the car. She saw me and asked if everything was okay.